Hello and welcome to Lesson 8 in your packet. First we have two vocabulary words, scale drawing and scale model. A drawing or model, same difference essentially, that represents a real object that's too big or too small to actually draw it on size. Like you cannot draw a whole building on a piece of paper. So you need to draw a scale model of it, or scale drawing, or make a scale model of it. There's a ratio involved here of the size of the drawing to the actual size of the object, and common scale drawings include maps of cities and blueprints of buildings. Scale factor is the ratio, so a ratio here of the copy size to the actual size of the object. It's also the value, we've used that word before, where you take the top number divided by the bottom number in a ratio. Takes the value of the ratio given in the scale. For example, consider a scale drawing with a scale of 1 foot to 100 feet. That means the scale is the ratio of 1 foot to 100 feet, which indicates that 1 foot on the drawing represents 100 feet of actual length of a building or whatever it is you're talking about. And the value is 1 over 100. We don't put 0.01, 1/100th that way. No, it's 1 over 100, 1/100th. We'll talk about that later as we learn about it, but this is the scale factor of the drawing. Now we're going to scroll down to a review problem. Shows two desks viewed from above. There's corresponding sides. Let's see, the corresponding sides are proportional. The numbers indicate the length and width, etc., etc. To find the missing measure. This is the missing measure, and it corresponds to that 4 feet, just so you know. So we need to find another pair of corresponding sides. I'm going to use this 16 feet and this 8 feet. FYI, we could also use this 4 feet and that 2 feet if we wanted to. It doesn't really matter which one. So I'm going to use the stuff in blue. And if 16 feet leads us to 8 feet, then x feet leads us to 4 feet. Do some cross multiplying. We can multiply vertically, we can multiply horizontally, but either way we end up with x equaling 8, meaning 8 feet long. Keep in mind, this is a video. You can pause it whenever you want and rewind. Scale model of Tower Bridge in London shows a scale of 1 foot to 200 feet. What is a scale factor that indicates how much smaller, that's important, the model is than the actual bridge? FYI, we're not supposed to say things like, it is 3 times smaller. That those two things don't jive. It is 1/3 the size would be a lot more appropriate. So here we go. 1 foot to 200 feet. So 1 foot to 200 feet is 1 over 200, right? We learned about that about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So simplify, well, it's already simplified, so 1 over 200. That's the scale factor. The model is 1/200th the size of the real bridge. So it's quite a bit smaller. What is the scale factor that indicates how much bigger, so this is different, how much bigger the bridge is than the model? Well, that would be 200 feet to 1 feet, right? Because for every 200 feet of the bridge there is 1 foot on the scale model. So the scale factor is 200 over 1, or in real life we simplify it to just simply be 200. So we would say the bridge is 200 times larger than the model. Moving on. Find the scale factor indicating how much bigger an actual door is than it is drawn on a blueprint. If 1 inch represents 2 feet, you should know that 2 feet is 24 inches. So really this is 1 inch represents 24 inches. We need to make these into the same inches to make the scale factor, which is going to be 1 over 24. Because the blueprint is 1/24 the size of the real thing. Scroll down. A scale on a map of Minnesota indicates that 1 centimeter represents 5 kilometers. What is a scale factor that indicates how much bigger the state of Minnesota is than how it's drawn on the map? So, I think I need to go back to the previous example. How much bigger? Yes, okay. I gotta switch these around. I'm sorry. So 24 inches to 1, so it's 24 times as big. Sorry, so the door is 24 times larger than scale factor. Whew. I caught that because I was reading this, that how much bigger the state of Minnesota is than it's drawn on the map. So 1 centimeter on the map represents 5 kilometers in real life, and 1 kilometer is 100,000, so 5 kilometers would be 500,000. So 500,000 centimeters to 1 centimeter is this ratio. So the scale factor is 500,000. So basically the state of Minnesota is 500,000 times larger than the map. Oh look, Disney World. Let's see, 1 inch on the map represents 3 miles in the actual theme park. What's the actual distance between Magic Kingdom and the Animal Kingdom when it's 4 inches on the map? Okay, so let's use if 1 inch represents 3 miles, then we got to figure out what the actual distance in 4 inches. So then 4 inches represents, we don't know how many. Well, cross multiply and solve, multiply cross, multiply vertically, and we get 12 miles. Let's see, blueprint of the garage. Each square is side length of 1 inch, and scale is 1 inch is 2 feet. So 1 inch on the drawing is 2 feet in real life. Actual width of the garage. Well, let's count and see how many box squares it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it's 15 across, and each box is 2 feet, so it's 30 feet. If you want to do it that way, you could use these proportion boxes. If 1 inch is 2 feet, 1 inch, 2 feet, then 15 inches is how many feet? And then you can get 30 feet that way. Right, solve a proportion using say, there we go. See, we'll skip over the challenge problems for right now. Not that they're that hard, though. And we have to move on to lesson 9. By the way, so far your homework is do lesson 8 homework, and soon I will tell you that lesson 9 homework will also be your homework. That is 2 lessons, yes, 2 of them that are your homework. We have the same vocabulary words. Moving on. Do a quick review problem. Suppose you're making a scale drawing of the following rooms in the table below. Find the length of each room in the scale drawing with the given scale, then find the scale factor. Alright, this is all review, and we just talked about it minutes ago, so I'm not going to do this review problem. Alright, here we go. Scale drawing, problem 1. For the movie King Kong, the special effects crew is creating a larger model of the gorilla named King Kong, using a smaller scale model shown below. By the way, this used to be extremely common. It is becoming less and less common, but still common in movies. The alternative is CGI. If they use a scale of 16 feet on the larger model representing 1 foot in the smaller model. Okay. So 16 feet in real life represents 1 foot on the model. So what's the height of the larger model? Well, let's see. So if 1 foot in real life represents 16 feet in real life. Then 2 feet, because this guy, King Kong is 2 feet tall here, is how many feet tall? Well, that would be 32 feet tall. Cross multiply, you can multiply across, multiply vertically, whatever you want. Washington Middle School students want to make postcards of their mosaic mural as an art project. The mural is about 15 feet by 15 feet. If a scale of 1 inch to 3 inch was used, what is the height of the postcard? Well, 1 inch to 3 feet, 1 inch to 3 feet, okay. Alright, so 1 inch to 3 feet is what they give us. And we're supposed to find out what is the height of the postcard. The height's 15 feet in real life. So 15 feet here. I'm going to figure out what that is. Do some cross multiplying and stuff like that. Ends up being the height is 5 feet tall. So it's 5 feet tall. It also asks me though, what's the scale factor that indicates how much smaller the postcard is than the mural? Well, that's where this 1 to 3 comes in. 1 inch to 3 feet is 36 inches. So 1 over 36 would be the scale factor. It's 1/36 the size of the real mural. Oh, I guess I'm supposed to do that here. 1 to 36 equals 1 over 36. That's where I'm supposed to do it. So that's the scale factor. Practice scale drawing problems 2. Tammy looks at a map and finds Atlantic City Beach right here. It is 2 3/4 inches from the hotel where she's staying right there. 2 3/4 inches. The scale of the map is 1 inch is 500 feet. How many feet away is the beach from the hotel? Alright, so 1 inch is 500 feet in real life, and it's 2 3/4 inches. 2 3/4 inches. And we have to figure out how far is that in real life. Well, pretty easy to do if you have a calculator, which you all should have. Now I'm going to cross multiply these and divide by that. So I'm going to do 500 times, and then in parentheses I'm going to do 2 plus 3 divided by 4. That's how you type in 2 3/4. And then divide by 1. Press equals, I get 1,375. So 1,375 feet. It's probably about a quarter of a mile. Tariq's model of a truck is 9 inches long, so that's important, of course. And the scale used for creating the model is 0.5 inches, so half an inch to 3 feet. He determined that the actual truck must be 27 feet long. Okay, so the model is 9 inches long, and he thinks the real thing is 27. So he's thinking 9 inches is 27. We're trying to figure out if this is right or not. Is this 27 correct? Because it's 0.5 inches to 3 feet. Well, here's what we do to solve this. We need to figure out if that 27 is correct. So we should cross multiply and solve, or multiply across, or multiply vertically, whatever, to figure out what we would put here. He thinks it's 27. 3 times 9 is 27, and then divided by 0.5, well, that's going to be actually 54. Not the 27 he got. He's wrong, this guy Tariq. It's supposed to be 54 feet long. And that is a really long truck. Hopefully he's not talking about a pickup truck. So 54 feet, and then the explanation is what I just said out loud. Okay, here's a challenge problem, but we're going to do it quick. The scale on a map of the Twin Cities is 3 centimeters is 2 miles. Between Minneapolis and St. Paul is 9.2 miles. How far apart are they on a map? So 3 centimeters and 2 miles and 9.2 miles, and we figure out how far it is off the map. cross multiply and solve, just use a calculator.